Hey, True Believers, England here with another batch of new comic book reviews. We've got to talk about Future State, the Immortal Wonder Woman is what it's called. Yeah. And of course, I got some others afterwards. We're going to talk about Marvel's last issue of the Maestro miniseries, Red Sonja, and what is it called? The Superpowers? Something like that? Okay, and of course, an old Nightwing before Future State, which I hadn't gotten to. I have, and you're going to hear about it. So let's get this party started. Okay, gang, we're going to start off with the Immortal Wonder Woman, and Diana Prince is in this. It's basically Diana Prince and Nubia. So the first story is Diana Prince. In all honesty, I kind of liked the back and forth we're getting here. She goes into the Batcave, and as we know, a lot of people believe that Bruce Wayne, Batman, is dead. The Batman is dead. So she's kind of seeing ghosts, and she has her little hologram conversation with him where I think, right here, is he touching her? What's going on? He's like, the only reason to put the hand on the shoulder is to show comfort, but if he's ethereal, then what comfort can it be? Well, anyway, she takes his utility belt, she flies away, she goes to Amazon, Paradise Island, and they do the whole bit about, oh my gosh, you're wearing his belt, so what kind of man or what kind of Amazon are you? But that hasn't happened yet. She's flying to Paradise Island. But what I want to talk about is there's a scene with a Darkseid where Apocalypse is being attacked, and he's just like, who cares? It's a dead planet, I'm going to go. Which I thought, no! One of the best things in comic books ever was the Darkseid Galactus meetup, where Galactus is fighting hard to steal the life sources from Apocalypse, only to find out there aren't any. And Galactus says, well, why did you defend this planet so hard? And he said, because it's mine. That, my friends, is Apocalypse. That's what I wanted to see. But he gives up Apocalypse and he flies to Earth to take over Earth. It's ridiculous. Also, I've got to point out, by the way, Wonder Woman is drawn young. And she's acting like a young girl. She's acting like a modern millennial. Oh, by the way, why the fat Amazon? What are you doing? Is this some sort of body positivity thing? She looks out of place. She looks stupid. It just doesn't make sense. These are active people. She's like, oh, I'm the one that sits around and eats all the sweets. That's why you guys can only have fruit. It doesn't make sense. If you're going to do something like this, you have to have a narrative reason as to why, and it just doesn't make sense otherwise. I get it, body positivity, blah, 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 political correctness, but narratively, why is she fat? Okay, then we get to the Nubia story, and what can I say? What can I say about the Nubia? So the first part's good. I actually like this first part, and in all honesty, I don't show the second part. Why? Because talking heads, talking about something. I mean, it's almost like watching an extended cut of Phantom Menace where they say, hey, we need more of the Senate hearings. That's the second part of the Nubia story. The first part is her beating up a robot and basically back and forthing. And of course she goes, but what about the real Wonder Woman? And she's got that big declaration. It's in the thumbnail. I had to put it there, man. Seriously. Because my whole thinking is, if you've got to make a big declaration, then yeah, you're not the real Wonder Woman. And this is a writer thing. This is a DC thing. I know this was supposed to be 5G and they're moving forward and they were going to move forward with Nubia. But the thing is just do it. If you make it like this, it's like shoving it in the reader's face. You better accept this! Which, you know what? Why not? Wonder Woman was won by Diana Prince. Why can't it be won by Nubia? It makes narrative sense. This is what makes narrative sense. But they do that as almost an act of defiance, which is not necessary, and it comes off as ridiculous. Next up, Red Sonja, Project Superpowers. So, not a lot of superpowers in this one. We do get the setup, though. We do get Red Sonja being hired, sort of, by somebody. It starts off where she's walking through the woods and somebody stops her, and she's like, haha, if you said this and this and this, I have figured you out. I can kill you now. And, of course, it's a big group of guys, but, she easily kills them because that's what Red Sonja does. And then we get a backstory, and it tells us all about why and how not only has Red Sonja gotten to this part of the woods and such, but it tells us why she's got a little marking on her head or anything like that. It's oh, goodness. It's something. It's a good book. It's just, we've seen it. I'm sorry, but we have. Yeah, and I also should have, I guess, talked about the 5 different covers and everything. Look, the art's good. I got to give it that. I do like the Project Superpowers. They show up kind of towards the middle-ish end just to be there. I do like the fact that when they arrive, one of the heroes are talking about, it's medieval times of knights and maiden fair, and he goes, it's a barbaric, dirty time. Don't romanticize it. And I agree with him. Yeah, this is before plumbing, dude. So yeah, let's not romanticize this. It is interesting and it's a fun story. Dan Abnett wrote it, and I do think Red Sonja can be a fun character when written well and when written properly. Does Dan Abnett write her properly? That's the big question. Kind of. The problem with the book, this is something that took me out of it. Like, I wanted to get into it. I liked everything that surrounded the story and everything. It's just that this is a character that takes place in, barbaric times, medieval times. I mean, freaking hell. The other characters, Conan the fucking barbarian, right? There's a lot of modern speak. Like, at one point she's like, well, no, I'm sorry, no, come on, man. And that kind of took me out of the story every time that happened. Look, I'm sounding more critical than I really should. I had fun with the book. I like the book. I'm gonna carry this out. I'm gonna take it to the end and everything. But it's just things take me out of the story. What can I say? I wanted to like it more and better than I actually did. So there you go. That's my take on Red Sonja and the Project Superpowers. Nightwing 76. So as you can see by the cover here, the KG Beast goes after Nightwing again, and Dick Grayson kind of loses it. It starts off, it's like the whole bit where he gets shot in the head, and then it just kind of carries on in, and yeah, exactly what I said. Seriously, he is not having any of this. KG Beast is holding a gun to his girlfriend's head, and he decides, you know what? I'm going to beat the teetotal hell out of you, and proceeds to. That's most of this issue. He's talking about how the KG Beast is kind of scared, and he does everything at a distance. Now, I do remember the 10 Nights of the Beast, which introduced the KG Beast, and he was almost, actually, I think, better than Batman, and that was the reason why Batman left him in the subway tunnel. He was afraid he couldn't beat him, and he figured, you know what, I don't have to beat him physically. All I have to do is shut him in the subway. Now, everybody thought that Batman had killed the KG Beast, but obviously he didn't. I always kind of figured he just let him weaken. All you got to do is put him in there for a while without food. He passes out a little bit. You go in, you cuff him, boom, fight's over, right? Anyway, like I said, this is an entire comic book of Dick Grayson getting revenge on the KG Beast. It's kind of cathartic. It's satisfying. Even though I would think that the KG Beast would still put up more of a fight than he does here. But you got to understand you're dealing with what would be an enraged Dick Grayson, and that's a formidable thing. So I kind of dug it. I got to tell you, I'm a big fan of this particular issue, especially all the things that Dick Grayson's been put through, all the things that the readers and fans of Nightwing have been put through. Sure, I'm in. That's good. Not that it matters too much right now, because this was about a month ago, and now they're on to Future's End, as a matter of fact. So, but still, it was a decent issue. I don't understand the ending. I guess he's like, I've got memories of you, but not feelings. So he breaks up with his girlfriend, and I think that's very important not to bring up, especially considering that this is issue number 76, and there's still issue number 77 to go through before we get to Nightwing Future Perfect or Future Tense. What are they calling that thing again? Anyway, who cares? this is a good book. If you haven't picked up the Nightwings there, actually, even when they were doing the whole Nightwings group, it wasn't all that bad, tell you the truth. Alrighty, gang, here is it's the end of Maestro. It's issue number 5. We see how he comes to power of sorts. At least we see how he takes the throne. We already know in issue number 4, he destroyed Hercules. He killed Hercules. So this is the aftermath to that, where he's walking his body through and he announces that from now on, I am your leader. And people are like, are you sure? I think we should vote on it. And of course, the Hulk, being the Hulk, brings out his war dogs, his machines. And I'm thinking, wait a second, you're the Hulk. You could just go on ahead and, kill him yourself. But he does release the hounds, so to speak. And Rick Jones's people bring up Forge's gun that was built to kill the Hulk. And Hulk knocks him off his feet. And then we discover that Hercules, as a matter of fact, has been raised. He actually had Hades do him a favor and raise him so he could destroy the Hulk. And I thought, alrighty, sure, all right, this is good battle. But he's quickly taken apart. Anyway, what I like about this book, and I do enjoy this book, I think Maestro is a very fun miniseries, and I'm glad they're continuing it. Another review to come. But one thing that makes this really good is the finale wasn't this. This isn't the finale. There's not a big fight at the end. What closes this book out is an argument between ex-friends, between the Hulk and Rick Jones. And I think that makes the series more personal and more poignant. We see a lot of these days, these big epic stories, and it's good sometimes just to bring it back down to a personal level, and that's what the Maestro does. And in the end, I think the miniseries and the book itself is all the better for it. So there you go, gang. Those are the reviews, and as you know, I do like to sum up at the end here, making it so the covers are from the worst book of the week to the best book of the week, or video. And right here we have Immortal Wonder Woman is the worst today. It's half a good book. Anyway, I've got to go with next, saying Red Sonja. Now, this is a good story. This is a good comic book. It's flawed, but I still enjoyed it. I'm still in for the miniseries. Next up, I've got to bring up that Maestro book. It was really good, a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Ultimately, it is like 22 pages of just fight with a good story at the end. Although, I've got to give Nightwing the win, because I think this was, even during the fight, it was all character, and it made us care that much more about Dick Grayson. But those are just my opinions. What is yours? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to click like, share, subscribe, ring that notification bell if you haven't done it already, making sure all the notifications are set on all. And if you don't mind helping out the channel, going over to Patreon or to Ko-Fi, drop $1 in the till. Helps keep the lights on, helps keep making videos for you. I'd like to thank everybody who's already done that, and to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.